Alrighty, here we fucking go. Notifying viewers that I'm live. All right, well, we're gonna start off as we always do, as a sermon, and take it from there, I reckon. So let's take a look at these notes that I have jotted down here. What is everyone? How's you doing today? Okay, guys, let's start off with the sermon because, the sermons get me fired up. I'm going to try to keep this live a little on the short side because I just haven't been able to download the lives that I have saved to upload them on YouTube, because I know a lot of you ask on here, for me to upload them on YouTube, and I don't know, that little thing is spinning and it's not downloading, maybe because it's too long. So I'm going to try to keep this one short. So the first thing I want to say, okay, things in manifestation that I do not agree with. This is my personal opinion, but these are views that are widely spread in the manifestation community, and I don't agree with them because, I'm God of my reality and what I say goes, and some of you might resonate with this. But if you agree with these things and you think that you need these things to manifest, do you, boo-boo? Okay, number one, you need self-concept to manifest. No, you fucking don't. You don't need self-concept to manifest because, newsflash, everyone, whether they believe in manifestation or not, is always manifesting. You're always manifesting. You have always been doing it. So it's just a natural thing. It's as natural as fucking breathing, okay? So when Neville Goddard, because this is, thank you. Neville Goddard speaks about your concept of self will be reflected back, by your 3D. What he, in my opinion, is saying is what your concept of yourself in that situation is. So if you are someone, okay, and this is why I like to break it down, because, he's, great material, but there's some things that I don't agree with, okay? But what, in my opinion, he's saying, your concept of yourself in relation to the thing, right? So you can have a concept of yourself where you are identifying as a millionaire and you're not concerned about money, okay? But then in the area of your relationships, you are identifying as someone who always gets cheated on, whatever the fuck, okay? This is not what I see as self-concept, because the way I look at them is that they are apps, okay? Your relationship sector, your money sector, your health sector, your career sector, they are all separate. So self-concept, in my view, does not matter, because you can think that you are amazing in every area of your life, but if you have an app running in the background that is detrimental to the thing that you want in a specific area, that's not your self-concept. Okay, so to an extent, you might have, an identity of you're the motherfucker that never gets the job. Okay, you're the motherfucker that always gets cheated on. You're the motherfucker that always gets ghosted. You might think that, but it's not your self-concept, and I'll tell you why. Because if you are going about your day and you are feeling good and things are going well for you, you have one or two areas that you are manifesting. That is not your concept of yourself, because you can say that you are amazing and know that things always work out for you, but you just have a shit money app belief system in there. You're not looking at yourself as a broke motherfucker. You just are looking at money through the wrong lens. So to simplify it for me, I look at those things as separate from self-concept. Because when someone just tells you to do these I am statements, I am chosen, I am valuable, I am prioritized, you might fucking already know that. And I get a lot of comments because whenever I post a video regarding this, I be getting questions like, oh, but if you have a strong self-concept, isn't that already a belief? It's a knowing, okay? There are some things that you just know about yourself because something believed long enough becomes knowing. And it's so solid in you that you cannot be shooketh by anything. Okay? So You know that you are a great cook. You burn the chicken wings one time. You're not even going to flinch. You're not going to bat an eye. You're not going to care, okay? Because you already know that. Is that a belief? No, it's a knowing, okay? So any belief built up long enough, it just becomes a knowing naturally, okay? So your self-concept, in my opinion, like I always say, is your phone. It's your phone. It's you as a whole. How are you feeling about yourself in your day-to-day life? That's what I want to know. Okay, ask yourself this, because if you're the type of motherfucker that you know you the shit, you like what you see when you look in the mirror, you're happy with most areas of your life, you get along with motherfuckers, okay, you have a good life, okay, but there's one or two areas that you're like, what's going on? That's not your self-concept. That's how you are viewing a specific situation. So it can help to compartmentalize different areas in your life so that you can target the specific area, because you're not going to fucking sit and meditate and say, I am God. What is that doing? What is that doing? It's not targeting the specific area. Okay, so you don't need to work on self-concept, because your self-concept is just what you already know about yourself. Now, if you're going about your day and you're not having a good time and you feel unlucky, you feel, like the 3D experience is shit, and in the majority of your time you're thinking, you're feeling in a way that's very negative, yeah, you might need to work on self-concept, but that's not the case for everyone, okay? And you know who you are if you have to work on self-concept compared to if you don't need to work on self-concept, okay? Self-concept is the phone. It's what you know about yourself to an extent, okay? Now, here we go. And yes, you can change. If you have a detrimental self-concept, you can change that to something that is beneficial for you, but that's a totally different story, okay? But don't think that you have to just work on self-concept because it's not targeting anything specifically, okay? That's like you want to get laser hair removal on your balls, but they have you lifting your armpits. Like, what? No, this is not what I need to work on. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so it's a totally different thing. I'm just like looking, at my notes here. I appreciate everyone in the chat. I just want to get through this sermon so that I can be attentive to comments later, because I get rolling with the sermons. Okay, so number one, you don't need self-concept to manifest, okay, unless you do, and then in which case I recommend that you only work on yourself before you target the specific apps, because you want the phone to be running well before you even install a new app on there. You know what I'm saying? Number two, you don't want the thing that you're manifesting. You want the feeling. Can we have a moment of silence? Okay, so motherfucker feels like they got the money to pay the rent, but when the landlord comes around, what they're gonna say? Oh, well, I feel like I have the money. I don't make it make sense, because it fucking doesn't, because you want the thing. You don't want the feeling. The fuck is wrong with motherfuckers that say that? There is something cuckoo. Motherfuckers that say that. There is something cuckoo. You don't want the fucking feeling of the thing without the thing. You want the thing. Period. Okay? I can't, okay? I can't. That shit just annoys me whenever I hear anyone say that, because that's a bunch of bullshit. Because number one, okay, when you have something, there is no feeling attached to it. You just know that you are it. You just know that you have it, right? Okay, so I'm a millionaire. Is there a feeling associated with that? No, it's just what it is. Is my name XYZABC? Is there a feeling associated with it? No, that's the thing, okay? I live in this house. Is there a feeling associated with it? No, the feeling is calm. There's no feeling, okay? So if they're not completely cuckoo saying that you don't want the thing, you want the feeling, I would imagine, in my opinion, what they're talking about is you just want to feel calm and at peace, which you can feel calm and at peace with or without the thing, but that doesn't mean that you'd prefer the feeling over the thing, because that's a bunch of bullshit, okay? You ask any motherfucker, anyone in the chat right now, okay, would you prefer the feeling of SP's fucking basement region meshed with yours? Okay, or would you just you prefer the actual thing? Okay, like seriously. So no, you want the thing, and it's okay for you to want the thing, because if your higher self, your God self, if all that is didn't know that you already had that thing in another fucking timeline, it wouldn't even have guided you to want that thing. So anyone who says that, like, yeah, try paying your bills on a feeling that you fucking loaded. Yeah, see how that works. I implore you to fucking try it. Okay, so that's a bunch of bullshit. Next thing, you need to feel it real. Again, what is it with these feelings? Okay, now here's something that I noticed. This is kind of like segueing from this feeling thing. I have noticed that there are like 2 different types of individuals that, you know, talk about law of attraction, law of assumption, which it's the same fucking shit, but there's motherfuckers who are so into the feelings, and then there's motherfuckers who are just like, let's get down to business, it's a thought. I am the motherfucker that I'm like, it's a thought. It's a thought, because you know why it's a thought? The thought overrides the feeling, because you cannot even articulate what the fuck a feeling is unless you think what it is. How do you know if you're happy? What is happy, right? It's a thought. How do you know if you're fucking miserable? Again, it's another thought. You see what I'm saying? The thought matters. The feeling doesn't. Your emotions fluctuate throughout the day. Okay? And so many motherfuckers on here get confused with feeling is a secret, which is that calm state, like you just know it, compared to emotions, which do fluctuate throughout the day. So you do not need to feel it real in the sense of, oh my God, I'm so excited, I got my thing today. You just need to feel the naturalness of it. Okay? And you don't even need to feel that. Okay? You don't need to feel anything. If you keep your thoughts dominantly focused on the thing that you want, you will see movement, whether you're feeling like shit, whether you're feeling giddy, whether you're feeling horny, whether you're feeling angry, don't fucking matter. You keep your thoughts focused, okay? But again, because we're all creating a belief system, okay? If you believe that you have to feel something real, then that's it. You're not going to get what you want unless you feel it. That's it. Okay. And I want to be very specific. Okay. Because the law is the law. The law is reason free from passion. The law does not give a fuck about your feelings. It does not give a fuck. Okay. The law just gives you what you are focused on, what you know about yourself, what your dominant beliefs are. Okay, it's a literal reflection showing you what's going on in here. The law does not care about your feelings, and I can prove it to you. How many times have you thought of someone, and I always say this is like my fucking, I don't know how many times I fucking say it, but it's true. You think of someone that you ain't heard from in months. Boom, this motherfucker Bob, wonder what he's up to. A week later, Bob fucking hits you up. Did you feel anything for Bob? Odds are you fucking didn't. Bob was just a fucking fart in the wind floating through your fucking mind, and then he showed up. You didn't feel jack squat for Bob, did you now? But he showed up. And that is precisely why, because I know all of you in the chat have had that happen. You think of something once, boom, it appears. There's no feeling associated with it. There's your proof, okay? So I'll show you proof. You don't need to feel it real. You don't need feelings to manifest, because it's a thought. You cannot articulate anything unless it's through the avenue of a thought. That's just the way it works. The law is the law, okay? That's what it is. Now, next thing. Divine timing. Holy shit. I made a video on this at a certain point, okay? Divine timing. Another moment of silence, please, for divine timing. You know what? I need an adult fucking beverage now. Divine timing. Your God self, your all-seeing eye. All there is, and ever was and ever will be, is not bound by the 3D perception of time. It's not bound by space. Therefore, divine timing is a bunch of bullshit, because your God self is not even aware of time. Your God self is just like, okay, it's here now. Everything is now. There is no such thing as divine timing. That's a spiritual construct, and in my opinion, it's a limiting belief system. When motherfuckers come up on here and they try to twist spirituality with manifestation, that's still, I'm my dude, fuck your feelings. In divine timing, it will happen. Let me give you a pacifier and spoon feed you this creamed corn. I ain't spoon feeding, motherfucker, because I want you all in the chat to get your shit. And you ain't gonna get your shit if I sit here and spoon feed shit to you. You gonna get your shit when you understand that the law is the law and the law don't give a fuck about your feelings. And time doesn't exist to your God self. So the law, your God self, I am a millionaire. I am in my dream relationship. I have my perfect body. My life is perfect. Boom, it's done. That's it. You needn't put any other type of effort into it. But it hasn't happened yet. And then someone gives you a pacifier and talks about divine timing. Oh, here you go. It's okay. It's okay. Like, no. Getting coddled will get you nowhere. Time does not exist. Time is for the 3D purposes only. I just posted another video about that on here, so please check that out. It explains more about how you're stepping into versions of yourself that already exist, and how you step into versions of yourself that already exist is that you place your focus there now, because it already exists now. There is no fucking time. And the more frequently you place your focus there rather than what's in front of you that your physical eyes could see, the quicker the time is going to seem to pass. Okay, now here's another one. We just got two more. Okay, the universe knows better. This is another, in my opinion, a spiritual principle that has gone ape shit. The universe knows better. Homie, you are the universe. You're God, your source. You're all there is. So how can something outside of you knows better, but you are the universe. And in essence, you are the fucking 3D too. You're everything. So nothing can know better than you unless you fucking give them that fucking option. That's it. And this is another comfort phrase, okay? We ain't doing this shit here. I'm telling you that nothing and no one knows something better than you. But if you place the importance, divine timing and the universe knows better. Oh, yes, I'll just... Are you captain of the fucking ship, or are you just a fucking, passenger? I mean, seriously, come on. And this is why some of you get half-assed manifestations, because you're not specific, and you believe that there's an outside source, even if it's just universe, but you are the universe. You believe there's an outside source that knows better, okay? And you're saying, oh, well, I'll leave it up to... Wow. Okay. You'll leave it up to, okay. And I'm not talking about when you know precisely what you want and you say, this is what I have now. I am aligned with this, and I trust its deliverance to me in the utmost perfection. That's different, because you know exactly what you want. You made a specification. But if you're just saying, I want this, but I don't know if I can really get this, because my logical mind is telling me that it might be too hard, it might take too long, and I might have to do some blood, sweat, and tears. I might have to jerk off several times to meditation binaural beats in order to get it. Like, seriously? That's why you get half-ass shit, because you don't know what the fuck you want. So how is the fucking 3D, which is a mirror to you, supposed to give you what you want when the fucking thing that you're projecting onto the mirror is discombobulated? It's going to give you discombobulated shit. That's why some of you get half-ass manifestations. You get a little jump start movement, then you go back, because you're not being specific. Okay. Now, this one is my ultimate fucking favorite. I might need another sippy of my adult beverage. Okay. This is a fun one. Morals ethics, and free will. Are we ready? Are we ready to digest this? Okay. Morals, ethics, and free will. I just said that you are everyone, you are everything. So if you are everyone and everything, nothing has free will in your reality. Nothing and no one. They are reflections of you. They do not have free will because you are the only thinker. I have other videos on this if you want to check my page out where I get more into details. But because you are the only thinker, you're the only perceiver, you are the only observer, how can they have free will? Even if you're manifesting an SP, okay? SP loves me, SP chooses me, SP prioritizes me. Oh, yeah, yeah. And then you call your homie and you're like, so what do you think they're thinking right now? Leave the chat. Okay? Anyway, you know who you are if you've done this. Okay? Now, I'm telling you this because you're not going to get the SP to show up the way that you want if you are doing that. Because again, what I just talked about, you're giving the mirror mixed fucking signals. So, of course, if you're everyone and everything, you're doing all this fucking work for SP, then what do you think they're thinking? My dude, what the fuck do you think they're thinking? Because you're the operant power. So they're thinking whatever you think that they're thinking. Can I get an amen? Okay? They don't have free will. They don't. This is why when motherfuckers come on here and talk about, and even manifestation motherfuckers be on here, they're like, well, you shouldn't manifest a person because you're violating their free will. You don't understand the law then. There's no free will. Because if everyone is you're not violating nothing. You're embodying yourself, looking at the ideal version of motherfuckers around you. That's it, because they cannot think in your reality. You're the only thinker. You will never know exactly what someone is thinking every fucking moment. I mean, unless that's something that you're manifesting, because again, nothing is impossible. But if you want to know what SP is thinking every moment, sure, you go ahead, you manifest that. But you're still not in their mind thinking for them. They're computing it in the way that they are. What you are doing is you are looking at the version of them that already exists, because you can imagine that ideal version of them, and you're tuned into that motherfucker and that motherfucker only, because that version already exists. So the version of your SP who is already ideal, already conformed, already perfect exists. Now you just look at them and you're like, yep, I like this, I like that. They're thinking they love me, they're thinking they're obsessed with me, they're thinking they want to marry me, whatever the fuck, okay? Because there is a version of them that exists, because if it didn't exist, you wouldn't be able to imagine it. That's why you're not manipulating anyone, because you are that motherfucker, and you simply tune to the channel where that motherfucker already exists in the ideal version. Now let's talk about morals and ethics. The law is the law, and the law is neutral. The law does not give a fuck about morals or ethics. That is an ego construct. So if someone is telling you that society would frown upon you if you were to manifest a specific thing, guess what? Number one, you attracted that situation for whatever reason, maybe to laugh at it, maybe to be triggered by it. But you still attracted someone saying that to you, right? Because, I mean, if you're everyone and everything. So let's say you attract a motherfucker telling you, well, what you mean you don't want a job? Everyone works. You're like, homie, I play and get paid. Oh, but, that's not right. That's lazy. That's selfish. And, okay. You could look at it as, wow, that's where they're coming from. I attracted this version of them to show up for me, to show me how little they know about their own God self and how little they understand manifestation. You could look at it like that. Because really, I don't know who the fuck says this. I think Tupac says it, only God could judge me, right? So if someone else is judging what you want or what you don't want, They are not the ultimate judgment. You are, because you're the only God in your reality. So this motherfucker that's saying that you shouldn't want this or you should want that because everyone in society is doing it, or you want to manifest an SP who is already married, and your friend tell, oh, well, you shouldn't do that. Motherfucker, you ain't God. You see what I'm saying? So think about why you attracted this person to judge what you want, and laugh about it, and know that that presented itself to you to show you where they are at. And if you want to attract a new, better version of them where they're more understanding and accepting of everything that you want and don't want, that's fine. If you don't want to deal with the motherfucker again, that's fine too. But understand that there is no one that can judge anything in your experience unless you judged it first. So maybe while you're saying, but I don't want a fucking job, you know what I mean? But maybe in the back of your mind, you're like, oh, but society, you know, they're going to think that's unacceptable. You first had that thought, and then it had to be parroted back to you by the motherfucker that brought that up to you. Do you see what I'm saying? So clear the cache, clear the psyche, know that you are the only judgment. And if you have a societal fucking program in there that's saying morals or ethics, know that that doesn't exist to the God self. Because to God's self, everything is fucking perfect and lit and fucking amazing all the fucking time. So the only one that can judge is God. And because you are God, you're the only judgment. You know why you want what you want. You know why you want to be rid of anything, anyone, okay? And that ain't my place to judge it, because I'm God of my reality. You're God of your reality. So don't let any motherfucker try to come in and judge what you want or don't want. Know that first, you might have had a societal thought like, oh, maybe this isn't right. But then remember, it comes from society. You don't need a fucking job. You could have whatever the fuck you want. You don't need to lift a finger. But there are so many morals that are ingrained in society to keep motherfuckers in line, okay? To keep them to, you know, you go in, first you go to school, you got to be subservient to the system, then you got to go to a good college to be subservient to another system, so you slave away and you fucking keep the matrix fueled, and you don't work on yourself because you're too busy working, and then what, they give you a retirement plan to enjoy when you're fucking 80? Now you tell me, because to me, and this is my opinion, if you enjoy your job and you love it, that's great, but to me that's a societal construct. Okay, so just because everyone else is doing it, and just because everyone else is saying this is the right thing to do or this is the wrong thing to do, then they're not fucking God in your reality. Only you are. Okay, so there are no morals, there are no ethics, there's no free will. You are the only judgment, because you are the only thinker in your experience. You are God, and only God can judge. So you are judging situations. Do I want this? Do I not want that? You are judging, and you know why you want something. You know why you want to be rid of something else, and no one else can take that away from you. No one else can make that decision. So if you want to be on more favorable terms with motherfuckers in your life, if you feel like your lifestyle is being judged no matter what, then you just say everyone accepts me and loves me for who the fuck I am, and they don't give a fuck. Or if you want to be rid of a motherfucker that, you know, doesn't accept you for you, know that still you kind of created that version of them to not accept you for you, maybe because you had a judgment about them, okay? But it's always up to you how you want to proceed with that. But don't let anyone tell you what to do, because at the end of the day, you as God, you're the only one that has to sleep with your decisions. So if you're living a lie based off of what other motherfuckers expect of you, no matter what it is, it could be your personal life, professional life. If you're living a lie, you're the only motherfucker that has to deal with that, because you're the only thinker in your reality. And if someone is, you know, shows up and judges you, they're still not thinking in your reality. So if you're doing something to make someone else happy, you sold yourself short. That's why you should always do what the fuck you want. And if you want motherfuckers to just accept you for you doing whatever the fuck you want whenever you want, then you just program them that way because they are you. So you say, this motherfucker never judges me. This motherfucker always accepts me for who the fuck I am. We get along great. Even though our 3D lifestyles may be different, we get along like fucking peas and carrots. Okay? So that was my fucking sermon. All right. So how's everyone doing tonight? What's going on here? I am gonna, like I said in the beginning, the longer lives, just for some reason, they have not been downloading on my phone to put on YouTube. So I don't know. I'm gonna try to keep this a little short. Is it a full, oh my God, that's so weird how you said full moon, because I literally was outside earlier and the moon was just coming out and I was like compelled to take a pic of it. That's so interesting. Well, if it's a full moon, fuck yeah. But again, that's another perception, They say wild things happen on the full moon evenings. Whee. Oh, your team lost yesterday. Who? I don't really pay attention to the Super Bowl. I know it was the Eagles and who? Because I was seeing videos on here from Philly about the Eagles. I don't remember the other team because I'm not into sports. It's just not my thing. Can you manifest good things for someone else? Yes. Oh, the Chiefs. Okay. I don't know because I'm not into sports, so it's just not my thing. So the Phillies won. Philly. Oh my God, what is wrong with me? So the Eagles, but the Phillies are from Philadelphia, right? But that's baseball. You see, this is the shit that I can't talk about because I don't understand manifesting and esoteric and things like that. Yeah, I know my shit, but with sports and 3D, I'm like, I get it's entertaining for some people, but I do not know. You do not want me to talk about sports. I would, seriously. Ooh. You're not into anything but manifesting type stuff. I mean, I'm into a few different things, but I really I enjoy the manifesting because it's really the way that we're all living, Oh, stalking the wild pet. I did. Oh my God, I looked that up and I did not download it on Audible yet, but I did look it up, but I didn't download it. Is it on Audible or did you buy the physical book? I'm just curious. I mean, if people want their exes back, that's, that's something that they want, If that's not for you, then definitely don't go down that route. Just manifest a new person. Oh, thank you. Love my nails. I always be with the chrome. Oh, you bought the physical book. Okay, yeah, let me know. Thank you. I appreciate it. You sometimes get what you need and not what you want, Bashar said. Then that, I mean, honestly, to me, that sounds like it's more of an opinion rather than someone channeling. So I don't know, do what you want with that. Because what you need, I don't resonate with that. I mean, I think Bashar does have great content, but some of the stuff that he says, I'm just like, just like with anyone, so you have to really take what you believe. I personally don't believe that though. But if someone else does, then that's them. Yeah, manifesting is definitely very personal because since everyone is having their own experience and everyone has their own internal dialogue and everyone has their own, belief systems and programs and the way that they look at things, the way they talk themselves, it is super personal. And, your manifestation will likely show up in a way that, resonates with you. So if you're someone who, because remember, it's based off of you, right? Your manifestation is not going to show up in a way where I'm not going to say that you would be expecting it because it can show up unexpectedly, but it still would be in a way that it kind of makes sense and it works for you. So someone might be okay with something appearing out of thin air, whereas someone else would rather see it manifested a little bit and then, okay, let me, do the next step to get the final thing. You know what I mean? because someone can, let's say if two different individuals are manifesting a house, right? One motherfucker is like, the house will just appear to me out of nowhere, it'll just be gifted to me. Someone who doesn't think that way, they're like, well, I want to manifest a house, but I like, they're more logically inclined, then likely they're just gonna, randomly drive by a for sale sign and then see that. Whereas the other motherfucker who is more like mystically inclined, such as myself, like it could just be literally like, oh, by the way, dead uncle and fucking wherever the fuck just gifted you a house, and it happens to be the exact house I was looking at. And I'm like, I didn't even know I had an uncle, let alone that he's dead. You know what I mean? So it really, like, I've noticed that manifestations can be like super specific to the way a person accepts information. Well, I mean, if the ancestors thing, that never really resonated with me, but again, that's a belief system. So if someone believes that, then that's what's gonna, look to be true for them. Like everything is a belief system. You know what I mean? So it's like I personally believe in astrology. Not everything. I look at it more for fun. I'm not like, oh my God, like the moon is in this sign, so that means that. No, I look at it for like a personality thing. I think it's fun. But if someone doesn't believe in astrology, they're not going to resonate with it. So it really just depends, Ooh, hey, Kylie. How are you, girl? Yeah, I mean, things don't have to resonate with everyone because remember, the law is the law. The law is specific to what you want, what you dominantly think about, what you dominantly believe. And, if you believe bits and pieces of, let's say, you like a little bit what Neville says, but you don't agree with everything he says, that's just going to resonate with you. If you completely dislike Abraham Hicks, then you don't have to follow that content. If you really love Abraham Hicks, and if that's what resonates with you, you know what I mean? It's very personal because everyone is an individual. So you can't, that's why like whenever I even work with anyone, I don't just give them like a ballpark, oh, here you go. Here's an affirmation. Everything is perfect. Like, no, because everyone has a different backstory. Everyone has different belief systems. Everyone's situation is so different that you cannot just say this is going to work for you. Some individuals can visualize, some cannot. Is it right or wrong? No, it's just you got to find something that works for you and stick with it. Please play the song Dennis by Alligator Cyborg. I mean, okay, I don't know if that comment was for me or someone in the chat, but that sounds like an interesting Alligator Cyborg. Okay. Oh yeah, the Bible. I love the Bible for like manifestation content. In my opinion, it's like one of, ooh, thank you. That's pretty. The Bible is like one of the best sources for manifestations, but the way that it's worded is very like archaic and metaphorical, and that doesn't resonate with like everyone. But if you really know how to like read the Bible, oh my God, it is so amazing. Authenticity is the highest frequency. I mean, if that's what resonates with you. To me, the highest frequency is calm neutrality. Like, I just like to be at true neutral, like Anubis. May your heart be as light as a feather and you enter the kingdom of heaven. That's what resonates with me. How you can reach Christ consciousness, you are already Christ consciousness. You just have to dismantle the limiting beliefs that prevent you from seeing it throughout the day. Because there are many times that you have accessed Christ consciousness when, let's say, something magical or miraculous happened where you just had the urge to do something and then it turned out, to lead you to what you want. That was Christ consciousness. But just a lot of motherfuckers have so many limiting beliefs, so they're too busy looking at the 3D to, be in alignment with that all the time. So it's not about attaining it. It's about letting go of things that are not that. I have not been to Egypt. I do want to go to Egypt. I mean, there are so many places I want to go. It looks fucking awesome. Is karma geographical? I don't believe in karma. So that's not something I can answer. Well, if you were in Christ consciousness and now you're too chronically dysregulated, why not start regulating yourself? I mean, you're the most important. Take that time out for yourself and do some self-care. Thank you. My nails look good. Guys, listen. This is an interesting topic too. Nervous system regulation is not going to be specific for everyone, and it's not going to be the same for everyone. I have heard EFT tapping works really well. I've heard somatic shaking works really well. For me personally, I don't get it. I'm just like, the only meditation I need is like some, or some wine and some good trance music. That's my meditation. I don't need to do anything physical. Okay. So don't think that just because everyone else is saying like this nervous system regulation is working for them, it might not work for you. Maybe for you, nervous system regulation is going for a drive, going for a walk, going to the gym, putting on music, doing a little puffy puff. You know what I mean? Everyone is different. If EFT tapping and somatic shaking works for you, might not work for everyone else. Like you have to, yeah, if you want to be regulated without that, then maybe start intending that with your manifestations. I mean, for me, I find it to be puffy puff. For me, I find it to be very helpful because when I'm in that state, I channel a lot of information that I use for my videos and just for like my own manifestations and things like that. And that's when I feel like very connected to my higher self, like the voice, as I call it. And then it just starts telling me things. So a lot of the content you see on TikTok came from a little puffy puff. Because it just, I fucking love it. Why do you think society keeps us away from our God state? In my opinion, and this is only my opinion, this is a video game, and it's just part of the programming of the game. Now, some individuals might differ on what they think this is, but I consider it a very high-tech game where your consciousness is just keeping the system running, okay? And the objective of the game is to elevate levels of consciousness. So of course you have to start at level 1, where all of these programs are indoctrinated, given to you, okay, since an early age. And then you graduate past that. Oh, now you're at level 2. It's not that you're being kept from anything. It's like levels of the game, And, another thing that I want to say, when anyone starts talking about like, the elites or like, the 1% or like in control, that to me in and of itself is a very detrimental belief system, because now you're putting someone else above you. You're God. So no one is elite in my reality. I'm elite. But you see what I'm saying? So even like leaning more towards like the matrix type of thought processes where, motherfuckers talk about, oh, but they're controlling this and blah, blah, blah. And like, even that can have limiting belief systems. So you always want to look at it like, guys, the law is the law. It doesn't shut off, whether you believe in astrology, spirituality, religion, if you believe in secret societies, if you believe in the Illuminati, if you believe in whatever, okay? It's still going to play out for you because the law is the law. So it doesn't really matter. But just don't think detrimentally and say that someone else has control over you, because you're God and no one has control unless you give them that control. Exactly. No one is above God, and we are God of our reality. How do you create? Do you just imagine what you desire? I want to be honest, you know, I kind of touched on this before, but I can't tell you how to create for you because I don't know how your mind works. Technically, you can just declare something one time, know it with conviction, and it can manifest. Okay. Other times you might want to go into a visualization and imagine the thing. Okay. Or you might want to script it out, or you might want to make a vision board. You might want to just, you know, look at pictures of the thing online. I don't, you know what I mean? I can't tell you how to create. I can only tell you what has worked for me, because the way that I compute information is different than you. So find what technique works for you and go from there. But the one thing I will suggest to everyone, because you're already doing it, is the affirmations, the inner dialogue, the self-talk. Okay, you're always talking to yourself in your mind. I would recommend to anyone, start there. Start talking to yourself about the things that you prefer rather than the things you don't prefer, because everyone can do that. That's where I would recommend to start. Well, I mean, if you want to take that so you can get more into your imagination, hey, if that's what you feel like is calling you, you know, definitely do that. If you can get into the state with your eyes open, then that is normal for you, yes. And that's amazing. You know, it's not about what's normal. Guys, listen, I get on here and I talk about shit that resonates with me from what I've experienced, from just working with different individuals, from talking to different individuals, and just knowing that the law is the law and the law does not fail. I can't tell you if something is normal. Only you can do that, because you're God of your reality. So is it normal? And that's how specific it is. This is why I say, like, anyone else's anything doesn't matter. If you have a talent or an ability, it's normal to you, period. No matter what it is. Okay? Me, I can sometimes read minds. Okay? I mean, to precision. Okay? I'm very clairvoyant. Okay? I have psychic abilities. To me, that's normal. I'm like, you didn't know what the motherfucker was thinking? Like, I don't see how that's possible, because I always, like, if I'm with someone, I can tell what they're thinking. Even if I don't know it verbatim, I'm like, oh, I sense it. And then it'll compute to a thought of what they're thinking. Okay, that's normal to me. It might not be normal. Some motherfuckers might think they have schizophrenia or something, but it's normal to me. Let's just, ooh. Oh, well, it's fine. Do I agree with Neville saying people are messengers telling who you are? I think everything is a messenger, whether it's people or like a road sign, but it's like you have to be looking for it. You know what I mean? Oh, thank you so much. They were $1 from Shein. I love Shein, by the way. I love it. I love it so much. It's such good quality stuff. Like, no, it's not. This video is not sponsored by them, but I really, I love it. The quality is so amazing. They have like lit on fire fucking items. I love it. We are limitless. Isn't it the best? It's like the best site. It's like, oh my God, I like log into there probably like every day. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What's worked for me to manifest money? You can't be afraid to circulate money. You can't ever be afraid to circulate money. That's number one. You gotta know whatever you put out there, more always comes back. That's the number one thing. You can't, because remember, money is currency, okay? That it likes to flow, okay? So you don't like, and think about it. If you're pinching pennies, you're constricting yourself, okay? So I'm not saying blow your entire fucking savings, but if it feels good to splurge on something and in the moment it feels calm and right, don't think about, oh, but can you afford it? Just, this feels good, the money will return. Boom, that's it. I mean, guys, money is really like, I mean, are you, okay, so I just want to take like a little, I don't know, survey. What would you guys want more content about? Because everyone, you know, the two big things are like relationships and money. Okay. So, I mean, which one, like, can we get like a show of hands or something? Like, money, how to manifest work, love, money, relationships. I just posted one on appearance. Oh, we got a lot of money. Okay. SPO, of course. Money and SP, it's always. I just posted a video about body image on here. Health and money. My most recent video is about health and body image. So guys, I just want to I want to say this for anyone who's manifesting money, okay? Do you really want the job because it's a career that you would enjoy, or do you just want it because of the money? Because if you're not, like, there's nothing wrong with manifesting a job, okay? If you really love it and that's something that you want to do, then yes, go for manifesting the job. But if you are only manifesting a job for the monetary benefits, you should just go straight to the money. You should just go straight to the money. You don't need a job to get money. You fucking don't. Okay? You really fucking don't. Exactly. Exactly. So, I mean, guys, if you're, you know, I want you to be really clear with that. The number one thing, you have to be sure, like, do you want the job because it's something that you love, you see yourself doing, or is it just the payout? Because that right there is gonna, you see, like I said, you gotta be specific with the law. So if your focus is money and you're just like, oh, let me go on LinkedIn and send my resume to every motherfucker, that's a frenzied place of lack. But you don't really want the job, do you? You don't want the job. You want the money. So you got to be honest with yourself about what the fuck you want. Okay? Now, for you SP motherfuckers in here, okay? And when I say motherfuckers to you all, my friends, I say it with love, and I'm a motherfucker too, okay? We fucking everybody out here. Father fucker, brother fucker, sister fucker, cousin fucker. We gonna leave the grandparents out of the fucking chat, but everyone else, we fucking, okay? So, anyone in here who is manifesting an SP, I want you to ask yourself, just like I asked, if you're manifesting money, do you want the job or do you want the money? If you're manifesting an SP, do you want that SP specifically, or do you want the relationship? Because see, again, the two are going hand in hand, right? Okay. Yes, we are all lovely motherfuckers. Okay. So if you want this relationship, this dream relationship, this ideal, and the SP just happens to be in the moment, like in front of you, and you're like, okay, let me manifest them. You don't really want the SP, you want the relationship. Now, if you don't really care, you just want to be with that person, no matter what the relationship, then you want the SP. So you got to be clear about that too. Because, I mean, you know, if you want this person, you know, it's different than wanting the relationship, okay? Because if you want a person, are you willing to compromise your standards of what you want in a relationship? If you're not, then you really got to make sure that when you're manifesting this SP, that they are showing up as the version of them in your ideal relationship, because the two are going together no matter what. You see what I'm saying? So the more specific you are, the better off you're going to be. But don't lie to yourself about what you want and why you want it. If you really don't want the career, you just want the money, go straight for the money. If you really, you know, want like a perfect relationship where it's your ideal white picket fence or whatever the case may be, and the SP is just kind of convenient because they're there, then you know what I mean? But if you want that specific SP, you got to understand that the relationship, if you're not tuning your frequency to the type of relationship you have, and you're just saying SP is in love with me, SP is obsessed with me, SP can't stay away from me, they show up, but they're still not aligned with your version of what type of relationship you want. So you have to make sure that both of these are on board with what you want, because you can manifest the SP, but then the relationship is shitty if you didn't work on that. Or if it's the relationship that you want in the SP, just because they're in front of you and you're like, yeah, I'll manifest them so I can be in my relationship, then you don't really want the SP. So just focus on the relationship that you want, and someone will show up, either that or the motherfucker you have in mind will just conform to that. So you have to be honest with yourself about what you exactly want. If you're manifesting money, yeah, just say that money is easily attracted to you. You always have more than enough money. All of your material realm needs are always taken care of and provided for. And don't think about the lottery. Lottery is another one. Okay, I've spoken to many different motherfuckers, and lottery, and I'm like, even individuals that I know, like in my personal life, I'm like, so you want the money, but you don't really care if it comes from the lottery. What if the money was just presented to you, like, here you go, free and clear, here's your millions? Okay, so then don't focus on the lottery, because that now you narrowed it down to just the lottery. And because the law is the law, and the law does not give a shit, the law is going to say, well, I was going to give you the money just in a fucking sack in your fucking lawn, but you know what, I'm gonna give you want the lottery, so okay, might take a bit longer. So you have to just be very, honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself. What exactly do you want? And if you need to write it down for every area in your life, then that's what you do. Because if you're given like half-ass, answers, well, but the job is going to get me the money. Okay, yeah, the job is going to get you the money, but you're going to fucking hate your fucking lifestyle because you go into a job that you hate. You see what I'm saying? Yes, you are a money magnet. We are all money magnets in here. I mean, I can be honest, I've never met anyone who didn't want more money, or if more money was like gifted to them, they wouldn't accept it. So let's just be honest with ourselves. Like, you know what I mean? Sutter, I just like it because it's a little cute mini bottle. It's a Cabernet. Fuck yeah. Hell yeah, I get paid to exist. Exactly. Well, if you want to be provided for, that's the beginning of your affirmation. You just say, I'm always provided for, no matter what. In what area, though? In every area or a specific area? You see, you gotta be specific. Yeah, I know, because I have all my podcast equipment, but it's not set up yet, and I want to make like a nice studio with soundproofing, and then I want to upload them on YouTube and make it aesthetically pleasing with like nice backgrounds and LED lights. Oh, here we go, the wonderful puzzle piece. This means that I've been talking for about an hour. I really want to keep this one under 2 hours, because it's just, I don't know how it's going to be able to be uploaded to YouTube if it's longer than that. Ooh, hell yeah. Well, definitely. I will announce the podcast on here so you guys can tune in. Whee! You're watching for hours? Aw, thank you. You can't detach, because you are everything. So how can you detach from yourself? You're just not thinking about the how or the when that it's going to come into fruition, but you can't be detached from something that you are. You heard a lady say we cannot ask for anything from the universe if we don't ask in the 3D. Clearly, that's what this person's belief system is. I don't agree with that. Guys, it's gonna really come down to you. If you believe something, that you have to do something in order for it to manifest, that's what's gonna happen, okay? Now, this is different from inspired action, which is just, you're gonna be moved to do it. You're not gonna feel like you're doing anything. You're just gonna be like guided, and then after that you're like, whoa, if I hadn't have done that, then this wouldn't have happened, right? But if it feels forced, feels like you're trying to do something in 3D, if it doesn't feel, again, for me what works is calm neutrality. And at every moment I strive to be at calm neutrality. I strive. Because when you're calm and you're neutral, there's no heightened emotional state. You're just kind of like, and that energy is very, very powerful. This is my personal opinion, okay? But if you think of a motherfucker that's popping off and they're like, rah, 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 they're like riled up and shit, okay? And then they're like yelling at another motherfucker, and the motherfucker is just there like, you good? Like, are you okay? You appear to be having an emotional disturbance. Like, is everything all right? Do you see the power in being calm? So that's what I would recommend, just my personal opinion. But if you want to, walk around feeling excited and giddy, then that's on you. If you want to walk around pissed off, that's on you. But being calm and neutral, that's the God state. Because the only thing that's ever going to be rah, rah, riled up is your fucking ego. Your God self knows that, all opposites are the same thing, different degree, right? So if you're happy or if you're mad, it's the same thing. It's an emotion. And God's like, I see both ends of the coin right now. I'm neutral. So me, I strive to be true neutral in every moment. Oh, thank you. I'm glad it was helpful. Hey. Yes, I do coaching. I do coaching on WhatsApp. What does it mean when you think of your SP, you get tingles all over your body instead of anxiety? What do you think it means? Okay? Whatever you think it means, that's what it means. It's not what I think it means. Okay? But I would suggest to everyone, assign everything a good meaning. I don't give a fuck if there's diarrhea smeared on the walls. That's a good thing too, okay? Assign everything a good meaning. You can't go wrong with that. Okay. I mean, yeah, exactly, because that's who you're responding from. You're responding from who you're being in the moment. So if you're just calm and neutral, the 3D could be a shit show and you're not going to care, because you're like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. I still have what I want, but all right. It's diarrhea on the walls. I mean, but look, everything is a delusion. You can't just say basically a delusion. Everything is a delusion, because I'll tell you why, and I'll give you more proof. Because there were times that there was nothing going on in your 3D. And I know this has happened to everyone at a certain point. There was nothing going on in the 3D. Everything looked okay on paper. But you had a thought that something bad was going to happen. And it fucking did. But you didn't do anything to make it happen. You didn't sit there and affirm all day to make it happen. You just knew something bad was going to happen, and it did. Okay? But there was nothing going on in the 3D, but you just thought, right? So there you go. So that was a delusion too, because there was nothing going on in your 3D to indicate that anything bad was happening, but you fucking created that. Because you're creating everything. So if you can look at the way you look at negative shit, okay, and just put it into the way that you look at positive shit, where you're just expecting it, because there you go, the energy of expectation, right? Then you're still going to get that, but it's a delusion. Because right now, I can tell everyone in the chat right now, your 3D is calm and peaceful. There's nothing going on. Because if there was, you wouldn't be in the chat. So now it's about, what do you expect to happen when you get off the chat? That's a delusion. It's a delusion, because I just asked you, what do you expect to happen when you get off the chat? A lot of you had different thoughts. So all of them are delusions, because they're not going on now. But what you expect to happen is likely going to happen when you get off the chat. Whether it's something that you deem as negative, whether it's something you deem as positive, it's all a delusion. Because you're creating all of it. So motherfuckers like to say, oh, it's delusional only if it's something positive that you want, but there ain't no sign of it in the 3D. But guess what? There was no sign of anything bad happening in your 3D, but you fucking believed it and you fucking created it. And then you said, oh, I knew that was going to happen. Yeah, okay. Well, guess what? All the amazing things that I have, I created that too, but I believe something positive. So that's why positive things fucking happen. It works both ways. But motherfuckers only look at it like delusion when it's something positive. And that's not how it works, because the law is neutral. Okay? So, everyone's really been delusional their whole life, because everyone is having their own experience. That's why you can have 10 different motherfuckers looking at the same thing and you'll get 10 different opinions, because they're all delusional. They're all thinking from their perspective and interpreting what the 3D means from their perspective. So is any of them right or wrong? No. Am I real or AI generated? That's great. I don't know. What do you think? Because, it's not what I think. It's what you think. I think tarot cards can be fun, but remember, they're only, number one, reflecting what you have going on subconsciously, because everything is a reflection of you, and they still don't have power over you, but they're still only going to reflect what you have or expect them to say. If you think everything is always working out for you, that is so perfect. That's the attitude to have right there. Right there. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy the lives. Hell yeah. Thoughts creep up. Oh, thank you, Kels. Yeah, that's the thing about thoughts. They're very fleeting. So you have to understand and, decipher which thoughts benefit you and which ones don't. And then the thoughts that don't benefit you, you say, okay, I see you. Just passing through. Be gone. A thought that serves you, okay, yeah, I like this thought. Hell yeah, this thought is lit right now. Fuck yeah. You entertain that, because again, you're the consciousness behind the thought. You're not the thought. You're the one observing the thought. There you go. You're not your thoughts. Ever, ever. How to persist? I mean, you just stick with it. But you don't want to persist to the point where you're looking for the next best technique. You're looking for another coach. You don't want to do that if you're feeling burnt out about it. And your desire is not going to go away if you take a day off. And this is what a lot of individuals question. They're like, oh, but if I'm not thinking about it constantly, is it still going to manifest? The answer is yes. Okay, the answer is yes, but you don't have to drive yourself crazy looking for different techniques or coaches or Reddit posts or comments, or you don't have to do all of that, because that's your ego. That is your ego wanting a quick fix, wanting an answer now. Your God self doesn't give a shit. Your God self is just like, wow, their fucking humanoid ego is really going ape shit right now, but it's already done, so I don't understand. Okay? So you just keep going, but you don't keep going to a point where you're burnt out from it. Because, Manifestation, it's really, you're always doing it, so you might as well have fun with it. And if you need to take a break for a day or two and just chill, do something for you, hang out with friends, just stay in and watch movies, that's what you do. You don't have to constantly, it's not, here's the thing, okay? Motherfuckers want this shit now, okay? I'm a fucking Aries. You think that I didn't want my shit before I even knew I wanted my shit? I'm like, that shit's supposed to already be fucking here. But the more you're focused on time and wanting it now and looking for the next best thing, you're just still creating. You're like, oh, well, I need a new technique because this one's not working. But then you just said it's not working, so then it's not going to work. All you need to do is just say it's done. I mean, you say it's done and that's it. But it's the ego that needs some sort of like placating. Okay, that's why the techniques are there to keep, techniques can be beneficial to get rid of detrimental apps or belief systems, but they're also there to kind of like pacify your ego mind so that it thinks it's working. Oh, okay, holla, thank you for that. And your God self doesn't give a shit about that. It's just silencing the ego. Oh, thank you so much. I love that. That was cute. Exactly. Your ego is just going to say, find something else, because the ego can only see things from a limited 3D scope. And if the ego is not seeing something happen immediately in the 3D, the ego is to be like, well, now you have to do something else because you got to make it happen. And that's that ain't how it fucking works. It's not how manifestation works. If you feel stuck with no direction, I would write down the things that you want, okay? Because you know what you want, whether you have a direction or not, whether you're feel like you're stuck or not. Write down the things that you want and focus on that list and see what happens. Because I guarantee you, everyone in here knows what they want. Even if the only thing that they want is peace, a peaceful life day to day, you still know what you want. You always know what you want. Whether it seems like it's a far stretch from your 3D circumstances now or not, you know what you want. So write down what you want and focus on that list. And you will be guided. Limiting beliefs aren't real. I mean, to an extent, I agree with that. But if you ask anyone who has had like a pattern, especially in like a specific app in their life, likely there is a belief in there, okay, that is contradicting what they want. So it's not that the belief in and of itself is limiting, it's just a belief and it's neutral, but it's limiting your perception to acknowledge that you can have what you want because it keeps reverting back to something that's familiar. So it's not necessarily that the belief is limiting, but if you want something greater than that, then yes, it can be perceived as limiting. So it really just depends how you look at it. A guy told you once that you want too much. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what that means, but that can only be true if you agree that it's true. So, I mean, like, okay, anyone in the chat here, right? Why would you care what anyone says or does or thinks? Like, I'm so confused. You're God. So if a motherfucker is saying something that, you don't like, I mean, yes, however you look at it, even if you just look at it to laugh and be like, okay, I don't know what the hell's going on here. There's a glitch in the matrix. Okay. But if you're taking it personally, that means a part of you is in resonance with what they're saying, or you've thought about what they're saying, and now it surfaced in this motherfucker saying that to you. So why do you think that situation arose? You know what I mean? You create your reality, not universe. You are the universe. You are everyone and you are everything. So co-creation, here's the thing, okay? And I remember I have this live actually posted on my YouTube where I went and did a whole sermon about how matrix means mother or breeder, okay? And the 3D is, by some considered the matrix, okay? So what's happening is that since you're part of everything, right? This thing is here. It's like a machine, mother, breeder. It's giving you back what you inject into it. And how you inject something into, the ethers of the matrix is by your thoughts and by your focus. Okay. So in a way, it's like it's you giving that to you. So it can be considered an act of co-creation because that is you, but everyone and everything is you. You're creating everything. So if I'm creating you guys right now, right? Because I wouldn't be talking if I didn't have an audience, or maybe I fucking would because I just love talking and looking at myself in the fucking thing, okay? But everything is co-creation, okay? So it's just a matter of the things that you're dominantly focused on. The matrix, the mother breeder is just, here you go, here you go, here you go. And that's how it works. So you're creating these things to be surfaced in your 3D, but you're still both. You're still the creator and the creation, if that makes sense. People born in war-torn countries with manifestation. I have to be honest, everyone's specific situation in the 3D makes sense to them. Okay? However it is, if it's so that they can uplift themselves out of a situation like that, so that they can see what's going on around them, so that they can expand past that, sure. But everyone, no matter whether they're in the peaceful countryside or a war-torn area, it makes sense to them. And maybe not in a way that they can grasp like immediately. I'm sure before a lot of you all in the chat discovered conscious creation manifestation, you're like, what the hell, like what's going on? But it makes sense, okay? Because I'm sure you guys have seen from your own personal experiences, maybe a shit circumstance happened, and looking back on it after, you're like, oh, even if it was just to level you up past that, to not ever have an experience like that again, it still makes sense. So, everyone having their own experience, I don't know why someone would be in a war-torn country. Only they can share that knowledge with you, because that's not my experience. I'm God of my reality, they're God of their reality. So in whichever way they are computing their 3D circumstances to make sense for them, that's what it is, because everyone is an individual. And I can't answer why so-and-so went through this and the other motherfucker over here went through that. I can't, because they know. And that's the truth. Exactly. War doesn't exist in my reality either. Whether whatever the news says, whatever anyone is talking about, I'm like, okay, well, my universe is great. So that's what matters to me. Everyone that I know and care about is safe and sound, and that's really all it is. It's everyone is having their own experience. It's not, it's like this thing is so specific to the individual. You knew the news is propaganda since you were 10. Hey, I mean, it's there. I don't really pay attention to it in a way where I'm taking it seriously. News, pop culture, anything like that. I'm just not taking it seriously. What I take seriously is my expansion and my awareness and, evolving myself and having a great life experience for me in the 3D. Exactly. Everyone does have their own experience. Because you could have two different motherfuckers. They grew up next door neighbors in the same fucking town. And one became XYZ, the other one became ABC. And they're two drastically different lifestyles. Why that happened? Because they're having their own experience. Their upbringing might have been exactly the same. That's why you have, identical twins who, there have been even studies conducted on this where the identical twins just, they have two different experiences. And one turned out this way and the other one turned out that way. Why? Because they're both God of their reality. So whatever experiences that their God self is having and interpreting in the ego, it's specific to them. It's very, very specific. How can you create a matrix where things come to you more magical and not logical? Just start saying that everything I want arrives to me magically because I am magic. I mean, it's really just going to depend on what you believe about your surroundings and situation. I'm glad it's motivating you. Well, you always have time because the only time that there is now. So technically you're always in the now moment, so you always have time. Limited time is another ego perspective. It's not from your God self. How long have I studied manifestation? I don't know. I think I always knew about it. I think I've answered this in every live. I mean, really consciously, looking at this shit, maybe for 5 years that I've been really into it. I started off probably more early than that. The first thing I got into, I don't even know how I found it, but it was Abraham Hicks. That seems to be a lot of people's first introduction to manifestation, either that or The Secret. And I was like, yeah, that resonates with me. I always had that experience that I would say things or think things and then they would happen, but I didn't really know what it was. But then, really studying the law and analyzing things and getting balls deep into it, probably 5 years ago. Oh, I appreciate you too. Your introduction was Bashar. Yeah, Bashar has some good content, but I don't agree with a lot of the stuff he says. When he starts talking about planet and beings, I'm just I'm nah. But he has a lot of good content. I don't think there's any manifestation person that I 100% agree with. You know what I mean? But again, because, I'm an individual, so I don't think anyone agrees completely with 100% of what someone says. Yeah, Bashar, I think his earlier stuff was really good, but then, I don't know, when he started getting into stuff on your planet right now, I'm just because I don't agree that the Earth is a planet. In my opinion, I don't, but if someone does, that's on them. It's just not up my alley, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly, it is bits from all over. Because, you're having your own, perception of everything. So, some things are a hit, some things are a miss. Just take what resonates with you, because remember, you're creating everything. And honestly, the only one that knows everything is you, because you're the only one that knows what resonates with you. You're the only one that knows everything. I'm the only one that knows everything in my reality. And if I don't know something, I want to know the answer, I set an intention, I say, I want to know this. And then the fucking answer comes to me. Oh, hell yeah. The Bible is the fucking OG of manifestation shit, honestly. It's such a fucking pimp-ass book. That's why I have, a few of the Bible verse manifestation thingamajigs on here, I know that like some people, when they hear the Bible, they automatically think religion. That's why I'm like, I'm not going to talk about that all the time. But the Bible looked at from a non-religious perspective, oh, fucking manifestation manual, I tell you. Yeah, Neville, I really, the two that I resonate the most with, I would have to say, is Florence Scovel Shinn and Neville. I don't know why, but again, I don't agree with everything that they say. Oh, hell yeah. The Bible, you definitely need to look at it not at face value. Because if you're looking at it at face value, it's really not about manifestation if you're just seeing for what's written there. But if you're looking at it like, ooh, reading between the lines, oh, hell yeah. Fucking gems in there. But listen, guys, I'm gonna jump off here because I don't want to have this get too long and, not be able to upload to YouTube because I've been talking for over an hour. So thank you all for joining. And again, like I said, hopefully this will be able to be downloaded and then uploaded onto YouTube, because the other ones, they were just, I don't know, the wheel is spinning, but ain't nothing happening. So I don't know what's going on with that. So I'm going to keep this a little short. This way there's a more possibility for it to go on YouTube. So everyone, Kylie, love you, girl. Aw, thank you, Mars. Thank you. Ooh, Brooklyn, hell yeah. Aw, thank you everyone for joining. So hopefully this one will be on YouTube. Let's all manifest that I'm able to download this and then upload it onto YouTube so that, anyone who missed bits and pieces of it gets to enjoy it. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for the gifts, for the likes, for the shares, for the comments, for the chats. All of you, I intend the very best for your manifestations. Ooh, hell yeah, that's right. It will be smooth. Fuck yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Talk to you later. Bye.